Hello! So I'm doing this video in black and white because that I'm extremely sunburned and I think it looks a little weird and I feel like I'll watch it back later and be like, oh my gosh, that looks so painful. So the easy way to avoid that is to just film in black and white. Yay! Okay, so I want to do a video diary today because I just came back from the beach for Christmas and it was a pretty awesome adventure. I went to Coogee Beach which is kind of next to Bondi Beach in Sydney, and I essentially planned to go to Coogee because there was a Japanese language meetup there, and I wanted to go and do something on Christmas because that my grandma isn't here, and she's the only family I have in Australia. So I didn't want to just sit here and be sad and lonely, so I thought I'm going to find people to hang out with. So I'm studying Japanese, so I went on the meetup groups, and it's marked as one of my interests. I don't think that I actually looked up Japanese specifically because I didn't think, oh, there'd be a Japanese meetup on Christmas. But I saw that there was a the Sydney Japanese Association was having a meetup on Christmas, and it was a barbecue at Coogee Beach. So I decided to to go to the beach and to book a hostel for 2 nights after the meetup, and basically it ended up being so fun. I mean, I was really nervous to get there because that when I got to the meetup, you know, I didn't really know what to expect, honestly, because, you know, there's lots of different types of meetups, there's lots of different types of people that go to, like, language meetups, but this meetup was definitely mainly Japanese people, not people who want to learn Japanese, but people who are Japanese, who have come to Sydney to learn English, and so when I arrived, it was just, like, all these Japanese people that I didn't know, and me, and I was just so nervous because I wasn't sure if, like what the whole purpose of the event was, if it wasn't really my sort of event, people who were learning Japanese weren't supposed to come. I mean, I knew that probably wasn't the case, but you know, when you're nervous, things all come in your head and you're like, oh my gosh, I've come to the wrong place, I'm done the wrong thing, I'm socially anxious. But anyway, I ended up just coming in and walking up to some random people and starting to talk to them. And I met quite a few people who were traveling to Sydney to learn English, and it was the most perfect situation, honestly, because I met a bunch of people who I added on Facebook and who are looking for people to talk to in English, and then they can do an exchange and teach me Japanese as well, so I'll try to get to the point where I can speak Japanese while they speak to me in English, and it would be pretty great. And a lot of them were really encouraging as well, like, when I told them I'd been studying for a year and I didn't really know very much yet and I wasn't really comfortable speaking, they were like, oh no, you probably know so much, you don't even realize how much you know yet. It's just that you have to stop being so nervous to talk. So yeah, it's made me really excited to start to really dedicate myself to learning Japanese. And they were all so nice, they're all very nice, respectful people. I don't know, it was just really great. I mean, it was funny because Coogee Beach was full of drunk backpackers the whole time on Christmas. It was insane. It was like everyone, like the whole beach, you couldn't see the sand. It was just covered in drunk backpackers. And we were just kind of on a hill overlooking the beach, and we were just eating barbecue and chatting while it was just this like horde of people partying on the beach. It was very odd. And basically what happened after that was that I ended up going to the hostel that I was going to stay at like 5 or 6 p.m. And I realized that originally I'd booked for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but I came a day late, so I thought that I could have just come and like used the one night that I'd booked and then like just move the other night up a night. But the issue was that because it was Christmas, there was no receptionist and I didn't know how to get in, so I just basically was sitting in the lobby hoping something would happen. And then I met this guy named Jerry from the Netherlands at my hostel who took me to the beach and introduced me to all the people he'd been hanging out with at the hostel. And it was really cool. It was like such a nice thing for him to do, to just like take me to the beach and be like, here, have some people to hang out with, because I wouldn't have really been able to, you know, make my way into a group if someone hadn't done that for me. And yeah, so I basically got to meet a group of people. He was from the Netherlands. There was one guy from Germany. There was a girl from France. There was a girl from Liverpool. And then there was one guy that was from LA, which was so weird because you don't really meet many Californians in Australia. And then I ended up meeting, the next night, I met two guys from California who were from my county, like from Sonoma County in California, like super close to where my family lives. And it was really weird because I'd never met another person from there here. And it's so far from California, so it's weird to find them. And yeah, so basically I ended up sitting on the beach with them on Christmas evening and just having a beer with them and chilling out, and it was super nice. And then we all went back to the hostel, and I ended up passing out super early, and I woke up really early because I passed out so early. I think I passed out at like 8:30 or 9, and then I woke up at like 5 something in the morning, and it was weird because I don't know how I fell asleep because the room that I like kind of commandeered, because they let me into the hostel, the people I met up with, because there was no receptionist, and I just found a bed that was empty because I had booked a bed. I just couldn't, officially check in. So I basically found a bed, and it was in this room of all these people who were like screaming, and there were people in there that weren't actually staying at the hostel. It was just like party time in my room, and I still managed, it was really blown out, I still managed to fall asleep at like 9 p.m. and then I woke up in the early morning, went to the beach, and had a swim at sunrise in the ocean on the day after Christmas, and it was so good because I've been meaning to go for a sunrise swim in the ocean for quite a while, and it actually happened, so that was good. And then I ended up calling my family in the morning, like right after I'd swam, so I was like standing there at sunrise in my bathing suit, and I called my family, and for them it was Christmas morning, when it was the day after Christmas morning for me. And it was really confusing. I guess for them it was like Christmas afternoon, like kind of middle of the day. They just all had woken up really late and had breakfast and stuff already, like brunchy stuff. So then I was like on a beach in summer in Australia at sunrise, while they were in the middle of winter in California. And it was so weird. It was like such a strange like juxtaposition. I found it very funny. And then I spent another night at the hostel, and I managed to check in, and it worked out really well. At first I was really stressed out because I thought they were going to charge me for 3 nights, even though I only stayed there for 2 because I came a day late. But they only ended up charging me for 1 night because I hadn't actually even officially checked in until my 1 night I stayed. So that ended up being really convenient. I ended up saving 1 night of pay for my room. And then that night we watched a movie called Everest and just chatted, and we basically, I had some food, and then in the morning today I had some breakfast that was free at the hostel, and then me and 2 other girls that I'd met at the hostel went on a walk from Coogee Beach to Bondi Beach. And I'd been meaning to go to this restaurant, this poke restaurant, which is like Hawaiian sushi bowl, for the whole time I'd been in Coogee. Then I found out that today, the one day that I wanted to go and eat it, it was closed on Tuesdays, which is really annoying. So yeah, I ended up missing out on that. But then basically we went on the Coogee to Bondi walk, and at Bondi we had these delicious giant salads, and then we laid out in the sun on the beach, which I think is why I'm so sunburned now. You probably can see the lines. I'm not including color in this because then it's like the whole time you're watching this you're going to be like feeling vicarious pain, even though it's really not that bad, it just looks bad. So yeah, now I'm back at home. I have work tomorrow, and my goal for the day is to clean up all my stuff because my stuff has exploded all over my grandma's house, and I don't really want that to be the case because it makes me feel claustrophobic, and I feel like I won't really properly feel, settled in until I've unpacked everything and it all has a spot, because I don't want to take everything I've brought here back into my apartment when I move back, because that would be annoying. I want to have less stuff. And yeah, so that's about it for now. that was my adventure for Christmas. It was an interesting thing to experience, so I wanted to share it here. So I'll talk to you next time. Bye!